we seeing today a change of paradigm in terms of types of matters reported? So we have a question from the audience raising the fact that many issues reported through the reporting channel and the outline relate more to HR matters. We also see a rise in social matters that come more and more through the hotlines and through the through these reporting channels. And Lynn has touched on this earlier, saying that joining forces with HR was actually a great idea to create the success of this system and this program. Would you like to elaborate on this, Lynn?
Certainly. You know, I do think we're seeing the change. To answer or at least to address partially the point raised in the question about, you know, yes, there's HR. That has been traditionally, at least in my experience, I've been managing, you know, the alert line hotlines for, since the mid 2000s or early 2000s. So for many years, that has traditionally been the case. It doesn't bother me, you know. Now, could we hope that maybe someone doesn't have to use it for, like, my manager? You know, I've been in a retail environment, so, you know, I didn't get the shift I wanted, or my manager, was mean to me. Okay, that is what, but at the same time, I still think of it as a valuable use, because that person, could then go talk to, plaintiffs' lawyers, or go talk to others. So, using the hotline, even to bubble up those types of things, to me, yes, I think all communication is really valuable. I think as we see, as the world is changing, we see, first of all, there is an obligation in Europe to open up by November, I think it's November, October, Pauline, you would know better than me, of 2021, your speak up or hotline call to external stakeholders. So customers, suppliers. I had my supply chain, my supply chain used to be open many years. I did that like literally almost 20 years ago. And people thought I was crazy at the time to open up my supply chain onto my hotline and to my alert line. And it was very interesting because, I think that there's an element there, which I actually did in a training yesterday, is that when your employees know that their their suppliers or who they interact with can also make reports, I just think it raises that level, because they're like, oh, and I'll be honest, quite a number of years ago, though, we did have a couple suppliers through the years come forward and, found employees that were doing things they shouldn't have been doing, So I think in broadening it is one, it's going to be required. Two, I think it brings some real value. And three, especially in the social issues that we're dealing with, at least in the United States, that this is if people think it's another safe space to speak, that's a good thing. So I went on a little bit, but that's
it's very, very, very valuable. Thank you so much for sharing. Amin, would you like to build on what Lynn has been saying?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add there is, reinforcing the use of the helpline to submit good faith reports, because I think sometimes, the unintended consequences of raising the profile of your helpline and expanding its use is that people will use it for all sorts of purposes, right? But that's just a challenge that we all confront and have to manage. And as Mara and Lynn said, it's better to receive information than not to receive anything at all. And in fact, obviously, we look at the pockets in the organization that don't report and don't share concerns to see if there's something amiss there. And so for me, it's a really healthy channel and one area where you can get a lot of metrics and insights. And at the end of the day, it's the insights that matter most to us.
Thanks so much. Mara, would you like to add anything?
Sure, thanks, Pauline. So, well, I'm not necessarily seeing an evolution in the types of questions or concerns that are raised in the hotline in my short period of time at Zoom. What I would like to see, just generally in the industry, is more innovative technology around hotlines. So, you know, something, whether it's through an app or something that actually makes it easier and more accessible to ask questions and raise concerns. And it just seems like there hasn't been a lot of innovation in this space. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity to do so.